Oh, God. There's
time? It's time.
It is time. There's so much that I'm like, I'm not used to being on at like normal hours. Usually I'm in like the horror slot, which is like 2 a.m. So being here at noon is new to me.
What? It's Good Morning Horror Block.
Good morning, horror block. Really quick, I'm Ecdycis. I do a lot of horror games and horror game speedruns. This one is probably one of my favorites and is going to be pretty terrible. Really quick, Couch, you know.
Hey, I'm Maxylobes.
Yeah, MizzMoonshine.
I'm Starwin.
All right, 2 quick notes really quick. For Halloween, I did a Clock Tower 3 thing, and I showed Raelcun it, and I wanted to keep this game as a surprise, because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff when we show off. I'm just kind of accounting for some extra goodies, but this game is terrible. I just want to mention that right now. And this is the unique privilege to be a part of a new kind of block in between horror and awful called the Horrible Block. So anyway, with that, I'll count it down, we can go. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Let's do it.
So Nightcry is a game that came out in 2016 on PC. It's Kickstarter-backed and is a spiritual successor to the classic game Clock Tower. They had a goal of $300,000, wanted to get a lot more to make this game a true marvel that people can enjoy on PC. It made $314,000. So the budget for that is going to be very apparent in what you can see in all of this. I want to mention this game came out in 2016 for a few reasons that I'll probably get to more later. But right now I'm going to introduce our main character, Monica, for right now. We're going to play as 3 characters. And Monica moves like she really has to go to the bathroom. She's very interesting in her movements. Weirdest part is I looked a lot into the Kickstarter like rewards and everything, and they were marveling her hair and her movement as like innovative of the time. Anyway, the beginning starts more like a tutorial, and I want to mention as well that this game is a point and click, and it's a 3D point and click. As well, I have to learn how to use things, so I had to talk to both of them before I can even pick up these matches. She'll acknowledge they're there, but you can't use them. We're gonna light this man's glass eye. It's just something you have to do for this man before you can even go to the 2nd floor. But I want to mention this is a point and click because earlier in the marathon, there were point and click games like Riven, Myst, which were very good. This game's not one of those. Right now, I have to keep clicking at every moment in front of her because she can just stop at many points. If I try clicking like directly in front of her in certain angles, she'll walk backwards, which isn't good. But that's a good gist of explaining the basis of Nightcry. And while I can do that, there's one more thing I kind of want to do that kind of fully integrates us to the intro of this game, because I believe that a game with such personality as this, and in a block like this, the game introducing itself will probably be the best bet. This old woman also doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. She's just there. There's like one puzzle later that we'll deal with, but for right now, story-wise, we are playing as Monica, like I mentioned earlier, and we need to meet up with a guy named Harry because all of our friends were encouraging us to go after him. And with that included, Harry's going to show you how to with ladies, and we're gonna see, I guess, Budget Dante in action. And this is gonna be the introduction to Nightcry. I can say a lot here, but I'm gonna let the game do the talking for me because I think it'll be best. Hopefully the cutscene doesn't skip, sometimes it does it randomly.
Don't get yourself worked up now. Come on, I'll buy you a drink.
What? You think a soda will get you on my good side?
Hey, you're thirsty, right? Here we go.
Oh, okay.
What the?
What is it now?
Well, something's grabbing my hand.
What?
Oh, yeah?
Something inside
Wait for
me
it.
grabbing my hand.
Oh, Harry.
Too much soda
the
can kill
Gregory
you.
Peck
It
Act is
well,
a bit
can.
outdated, don't you think?
I'm serious.
I love the lighting here, by the way.
It's okay. That was just the reboot, Dante.
Yeah, just Devil May Cry 5 will still be on. Well, say bye to Harry, everyone, and say hello to our main villain, the Scissor Walker.
Bye, Reboot Dante. Hi, Scissor Walker.
And now we're entered Nightcry. It gives you a tutorial on how to run away. This is also the only time in the game you can actually run. Holding down the...
That's running.
Yep, this is running. By the way, RNG dictates that at random points, she could just trip. The camera angle there has to make me wait before I can actually turn. And the way we're going to deal with the Scissor Walker is by using a fire extinguisher to just fire at her.
That wasn't running. That was constantly falling.
And it works. She just runs away. Now that she's gone, this will kind of let me talk about some mechanics. In Nightcry, there are two modes. One is exploration, and one is a chase mode. We just exited chase, and we're going to look at this man's dead body in exploration. We have a smartphone now. Now, the smartphone is actually a very big theme in this game, because when this game originally came out, it was designed as a mobile game. And they wanted to port it to PC. Keeping that in mind, in the year 2019, last year, I think around middle of the year, it came out with a PS Vita port. Yep, PS Vita. You know that one station that does this still make games?
Sure.
2019, 3 years after this game came out. And as far as I know, there's still the mobile port in development. That being said, oh, I clicked on the wrong thing there. But I'm going to be using the smartphone to charge it, because the smartphone actually plays a huge mechanic in this. The menu as well kind of is also indicative of that idea that this is supposed to be a mobile port. And now we get to do things on the smartphone, such as post on Facebook in a moment here, because that's actually mandatory. I guess it's not Facebook explicitly, but it's called SNS, which is, I guess, some kind of social media thing. We're at the post on there. Hold on, let me get to this room, and then we'll do it.
Can I also mention that this whole game is taking place on a boat?
Yep, murder aboard boat. That is the message we send so people will come by. Also, time for a magical telephone. We can't enter this room until we have a light. And now the phone rings right when we approach it. This is a call from our friend Jessica we talked to earlier. That call is needed. If you don't do that, you can't actually beat Chapter 1. It is really one of the most important things of the game. Now, for you speedrunning fans, have you guys ever heard of something called Panenkoic?
Oh, yeah.
So he has something called Watch Rolling Rocks, and in that, there's ideas of parallel universes and building up speed. Just keep that thought in mind for right now, because we're going to see one of the weirdest cutscenes in the game, and this is the only way I can actually explain why it works. This is also unskippable. There's a glitch you can do where the game just bugs out and decides to immediately go to the panic event here. In this game, there's panic events, which is you have to mash a button a certain amount of times. But enjoy it for now, because I can't skip this.
Are you all right? You look very pale.
Are you alive?
What?
And now the card's gonna build up speed for, I don't know how long, but this is what happens. That man is now dead. If I fail that, Monica also dies, and both of them are just like stacked together like pancakes.
The way that QTE looked like, it looked like you were the one building up the speed for the cart to kill that guy.
Right? I was not aware that, I guess, boat service carts do that. This is also mandatory, because he has a key card I need to get onto the floor we're originally on, because that's where the rest of this will take place. Now, anything I kind of want to show off is in these hallways, there's a lot you play on the phone, and this is a neat thing, because like I mentioned, this game was Kickstarter backed. And one of the Kickstarter rewards, actually, was if you paid a certain amount of money, you can get either your likeness in this game, or you can be featured in the game on the in-game Facebook. First things first, though, we have to talk to this fuse to find out the fuse is broken. We just have to leave immediately just to discover that. And the guy whose phone we stole, that was some guy named John Thompson. I'm going to buffer my phone to just answer a phone call, because Monica's clearly clairvoyant. This is Angie Brown. She gives us a call saying, hey, my husband who's on vacation has the exact fuse you need for that elevator. It should be in his bag. Do you know what happened to him? We just tell him no, because he's, dead. But we're going to be going in here really quick to go to a suitcase, and the answer is supposed to be gotten from the phone. It is 0314. That's his birthday, which I guess you have to either have an idea of passwords, or you have to just have an idea of phones. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to figure this one out. I did casually, but that's because I just basic password knowledge. Anyway, he has the exact fuse we need, and we can head back. We're also gonna get one of the weirdest panic events in this game, because this game is rather cruel a lot of the time. The first one with the mashing made sense. You notice I've kept my light on the entire time. There's a flashlight here that I've been pushing. I can turn it on and off. But we need that on, because if you don't have it on, you die. Really quick, I'm going to use the fuse I got, and that is going to get the elevator working in addition to the key card. But once we get in the elevator, there's going to be a mini panic event here. Also, just replacing the fuse. The game can also bug out and just keep when Monica opened that, it can keep it on that frame while I have to move around blindly. Luckily, that didn't happen. There we go, we have the card key. And now is time for that old woman to come back. She will kill you in the elevator if you don't know what to do. The answer, just mash all the buttons. You can only do that if the light is on, though. Anyway, now we're up here, and before something I want to show this off. She's running, thank God, she can stop. But here is some guy named Koichi Yamazaki with his dog.
Cute dog.
And then here is Aika Tanimoto with her cat.
Okay.
Both of them paid $400 for that.
Oh.
Really quick, we have time for a quick donation. We have about, I think, 2.
All right, we've got quite a few actually aimed at you. So I'm going to start off with $500 from RPS, which just says, keep horror block weird.
Thank you, RPS, very much.
We also have $5 from Kakusu Soro says, hey, Ecdycis, woke up early, not only to work, but also to watch your run live at GDQ. Glad to see your dream of having a man chasing with a giant scissor on stage. But you're not done yet. Keep on chasing those dreams from your weird mod, Sora.
Thank you very much. And that is perfect, because right now we need to do this. Remember that phone call I had earlier with Jessica? Well, we actually found Jessica. She's chilling in this locker.
Jessica,
Oh, there she is.
thank goodness you're okay.
And you're smoking.
Well, she's dead.
Oh, never mind.
So this is, oh, I barely missed it. So you can run fast enough to immediately get to the door. If not, you have to do this weird panic event where you just shove her down. But don't worry, we're gonna deal with the Scissor Walker in the appropriate way. We've already learned how. I'll give you a hint, it happened earlier. There's another fire extinguisher right here. If you ever want to beat a giant scissor person, just get fire extinguishers and hit them with that. Anyway, I needed to kill Jessica because that's going to be mandatory for a later chapter. In this game, there are 3 chapters, and I have to do very certain things in Chapter 1 and 2 in order to get to Chapter 3. Once you're in Chapter 3, you kind of break the game a little bit more, because believe it or not, this game does have some odd speedrun tech. But for now, if I didn't send the Facebook post, I would die at the end of this chapter by a group of people who just throw you off the boat. And then if you didn't kill Jessica, you couldn't make it to Chapter 3. Like, you can do everything right, it just wouldn't let you. Anyway, we're gonna be going up here, and I want to mention this again, my light's on. This is another one of those weird doors. There's no way to learn this outside of you die. So if you enter this room without the light on, it's an instant death.
That's a beautiful game, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
this game punishes you pretty hard.
Absolutely. And I guess it's more representative of the old Clock Tower games, but say goodbye to Monica, everyone. We're almost done. We'll be hitting our next character, because there are 3 characters we'll be playing as, and that signifies every chapter. If we see a guy here, we did this right, so I really hope we saw a guy here. Or we see a guy here. Hey, he's there.
Is that Chris Redfield?
No, that is Eric.
That's Reboot's dad.
So now we're back on the boat, and
Reboot Dante.
we're going to be getting the next character, Leonard.
Hi, Leonard.
I want you all to acknowledge Leonard's walk.
That's impressive.
Absolute king.
It is just the absolute manliest gait, the manliest strut I can ever witness. We're gonna be on the boat for a bit, but Leonard's chapter is entirely different and changes like the genre of the game, essentially. First things first, he's observant, so he notices that there's a raft on this boat. These guys never notice that, and they'll tell you, hey, I didn't know there's a raft here. You know, the one like, what, 20 feet away from them?
Don't they work there? Shouldn't they know this?
They should.
Like,
Leonard actually also mentions how this guy checked on him in the shower.
Oh.
Yeah. We need to talk to them about 6 times, and then with that, Leonard points out, hey, there's a raft over there. You 2 are rowing it, because we're going to an island, because there's a bonfire happening, and Leonard wants to party. So these 2 are going to guard the boat, and Leonard, as the absolute fittest man of this group, is going to just run and explore the island to find out what exactly is happening.
so they just went to an island? Like, that's...
Well, that's where all the rafts went. There's a party on this island, and we're invited. First things first, you can't actually even go over here. You can probably tell there's a secret path, but unless you look at the footsteps twice, you can't actually tell. Leonard has to know. It's not enough that we know. Leonard has to know. So you guys just watched Metal Gear Solid 3, I think that was the one here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Nightcry has a Metal Gear Solid section, because now this is a stealth game.
Does it have a giant hitbox for your role?
Not quite. So you're going to be doing this manly strut, and if the light sees you, it's an instant death. These guards will be posted around the area, and you need to march through the jungle to find out the truth of what's happening here. There are certain things that do in Leonard's chapter. We're going to be ignoring those a bit more, but the journey right now is to get a special mask. That mask will allow us to bypass some people, but we also need some supplies. 1, Leonard gets gloves, because gloves will allow us to protect ourselves for later. They have non-slip coating, so you know you're good. Now, Leonard also is an athlete, so he gets a baseball.
I wouldn't be able to tell that he was an athlete.
Well, don't worry, because he'll also our radio DJ, because we're going to Channel 16.
Oh, nice.
Fun fact about this, if you get it wrong 3 times or pick the wrong channel, it's an instant death. Some ghost just kills you and you suffocate. But by calling channel 16, we have called the radio that will pick us up at the end of the game. It's a helicopter rescue, and that will rescue the 2 survivors, which is the category name. Really quick, if you have time for another couple rounds of donations, feel free to go for that.
Of course. We've got $100 from UFO Techie. Says, hello, Ecdysis. Thanks for bringing the fascinating experience that is Nightcry to AGDQ. Watch out for those vending machines, bro.
Shout out to Techie.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout
Techie's
out
actually
to
on backup for this game and was the original runner of this, so I'm very happy that he was able to help me find this game.
Also have $100 from Gutsline that says, I've been looking forward to Nightcry Run ever since the schedule was released, so I had to donate during it. Is it me or does that bucket look awfully familiar? Donation goes towards Runner's Choice.
All right. So you notice I already picked up some glue, and now is time for the, I guess, more stealth and probably one of the weirdest cutscenes in this game. I'm going to be saying that a lot, but it gets weirder, I suppose. I'm going to use the baseball to solve a puzzle here, and just watch.
Did he have to throw it?
Yes. So Leonard hits the gong, and this man is going to investigate. You can see Leonard is truly a man of stealth because he hasn't been noticed.
That is definitely a Metal Gear Solid guard. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I don't know if this is the same guard from earlier, but I'm imagining he's different, and that's going to be an important thing to kind of explain this all. By the way, Leonard sneaks by, but the important part is we actually have to go right back to that gong, and now he's gone.
Oh, okay.
He just vanished.
Good investigating.
My idea is that Leonard is some kind of supernatural being, and by throwing that baseball, he sent that man to the realm of Cracker Jacks and baseball.
Manly Strut. He's an athlete. He's a DJ.
A man of many talents.
Yes.
He also has the power to, I guess, remove ghosts from the world. We have to go to this room because in this room is going to be the broken mask, and the broken mask is going to allow us to go into the next area because if they catch you again, it's an instant death. If you have the mask, though, you're safe. However, there's another QTE here. A ghost is spawned, and Leonard's going to take it out by using a bottle of wine. By breaking that, you're all good, and then you investigate this mask, notice it's broken, and now we can use the super glue to make that work.
Like if you hadn't have explained that, it just would have looked like Leonard got really mad at something and just broke a mirror. You're just
Yep.
like, "Arr."
Normally, if you see someone throw a bottle of wine at a mirror, it's not a good thing.
Nope.
In this case, though, it actually helps us. So now that we have that, we can actually go to the end of Leonard's section. And as well, I have another surprise for you guys, because every chapter has a different cell phone. Because you know what that means after we put on this mask, which is a pretty generous kind of area of leeway. There we go. Mask is on, and now we can avoid these guys. There's actually a weird glitch you can do to avoid this guy, but this guy will always kill you. And they're all the same guard, so that's why I'm assuming the other guy is just dead at this point. So we're gonna run to this door, but first, enjoy Yashihiro Inoue. She's chilling.
Definitely.
Rasta with some sushi. We'll look at more of that in a bit because we have to go inside this house. But I love showing off the Kickstarter backers. It's just a neat thing.
So Rasta paid $400 to show a plate of sushi.
Correct.
Cool.
I looked this up before the run, by the way. There's actually another Kickstarter incentive I'll show in Chapter 3 because they kind of threw them all in Chapter 3 and they realized they're not getting another chapter. And I think at $350,000, they're going to add a 4th character. Anyway, now we have rope, and Leonard mentioned he's going to have to go Indiana Jones on someone with that rope. Up here, we're going to have to do a few things. One, we have to read this book because this is going to teach us occult secrets. And normally, you'd have to look at a glass eye on this table, but we're going to entirely ignore that because we don't need it. This is just a standard hand, but considering that Leonard has picked this up, it's now called the Hand of Glory. We're going to take the phone, and we're going to call Will Anderson. This is the number I stole down there. And since Will Anderson is actually Leonard's biggest fan and is excited at the potential to have a phone call with Leonard, he's immediately going to go for that, and I can now take the rope and go down. And I'm going to show you all how to scale a wall in only Metal Gear Solid fashion. Also diagonal rope. But this is going to take a bit. I was like kind of showing this off because this also gives you a hint for another puzzle, which happens immediately afterward.
He really is athletic.
He is. Just look at this absolute paragon of a man. And down goes Leonard.
Great job, Leonard.
Future American gladiator.
So that combat him losing weight is the only hint you have that you need the gloves. If you didn't get the gloves earlier, you're not be able to get them now. Anyway, here's Zachary Livia Hartman. I don't know how to read kanji, but this is a field. And my man, Kanoscan. I love this picture.
He's so serious.
I love it. Anyway, now that we have the gloves, we can put them on the well. Normally, if you go down there, the scissor walker is waiting at the bottom of the well, and you will slip, probably in addition to the girl from the ring. But instead of that, we can now take the gloves and the Hand of Glory and get to a really cool hallway. So this is the hallway of the damned, and the Hand of Glory allows you to stay safe here. And it's going to be a panic event. The whole goal is keep the mouse in the heart. It will move a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. I can literally do this one-handed because I've just been using the mouse and hitting the spacebar to skip cutscenes. That being said, they will try to distract you with these jump scares. There's obviously some very well-earned jump scares in this. Definitely not that.
This is
So cheap.
this is obviously Leonard's fans.
Clearly,
Very
all of
popular
Leonard's
athlete.
fans are just trying to grab a piece of Leonard. Speaking of Leonard, though, we're almost done with this section. The last room here is going to be a little occult room or a sacrifice room with this tomb. We only have to do, I think, 6 things here. 1, you have to talk to the ground to see geometric patterns. 2, we're gonna have to talk to this crate 4 times to discover that there's a guy in here. His name is Jerome, and you kind of learn that he has all these marks on his back. This doesn't come into action later, but if you don't do it, you can't physically leave the room. And now as well, going up these stairs will automatically give me the final trigger, which is going to allow me to notice that this is actually the Oceanus and something is afoot. Now Leonard, being the absolute hero that he is going to stop it. In addition to that, he is going on a rescue. And with that, we're almost done with Leonard's chapter after these doors. Here we go. And I was going to show you the type of upstanding gentleman Leonard really is.
He was supposed to be here by now. I don't know. We just have to wait.
I don't know how he snuck back, but he single-handedly carried Jerome through the entire forest, stealthing all those guards. And he's ready to take out the attackers.
Well, somehow we've made it back.
Somehow.
We have no idea how many of them are on the ship. We'll have to eliminate...
That's not
What
good.
was that explosion? Hey! Get back to the ship as soon as...
They found him. Although I love how Leonard was ready to eliminate people. Also, you guys ready to dance? Because we have the greatest song of the game coming up. This is Rooney.
dang.
You didn't see this one, Maxie, but
Sour, please, in the chat.
we're in a party now. Also notice, Leonard's back. The game has a weird timeline where this is before everything happened. We have to talk to everyone at the party twice and people who matter 3 times. Leonard matters, so we have to talk to him 3 times. And we're gonna be able to meet everyone. This is pretty much the introduction to the cast, which is kind of weird to do it all now. Everyone thinks Rooney is kind of weird because she's really quiet. Also, I want to show you a fun part about her phone because I mentioned everyone has different phones. Jerome is now the love interest. This was the guy in the coffin, by the way, with the weird marks on his back.
Oh?
Yep. We have Monica from earlier. And she is trying to hit on Jerome because she wants to support her 7 brothers. And that is the actual story behind Monica. I think one more on Monica. There we go, so I'll be safe. If I miss anyone, I'll have to come back to the party, which isn't good.
Oh boy, she runs weird too.
The whole reason we have to talk to Kelly is because we have to learn that Harry exists. Remember Budget Dante?
Yes.
He's still alive right now. Also, Maxie, this is for you. Here's the Shenmue guy. Oh, God.
Hi, Ryu.
Oh, God, I can't click on it. Here he is.
Look at that face.
He paid $2,500 to be in this game.
Wow, Ryu.
Yep. That is a Kickstarter backer that they added in, I'm fairly certain. And there's all in Chapter 3. And now, I haven't mentioned Rooney much yet, but this is a brief introduction to her. And I guess the kind of woman that she is. Also, I like to note that Rooney walks like she's about to go to the bathroom instead of Monica, who's embraced it.
Seems to suck you in. Don't you think, Rooney? Don't you think it would feel so nice to be sucked into the ocean?
We're gonna learn all about ocean candy.
I mean, not really.
It's probably comfortable in the ocean. Like
Mm-hmm.
a soft bed.
But it's like a soft
It's a
bed.
bit
More like a
salty.
wet bed.
So you should bring some candy. I like lemon and fruit punch flavored candy.
That's weird.
Wait for it.
Sparkly and beautiful. It's Looks like 1 billion stars are at the ocean floor.
There are evil sharks
You're
within.
lucky.
I don't know.
The sparkles are all yours. And you're gonna become a sparkle too. Rooney, can you wait for me down there? You can't take all the candy though.
She can't.
You should get some rest in the soft and comfy ocean.
So tempted by the offers of ocean candy, Rooney thinks that's a good idea. And is about to dive into the ocean until Jerome saves her. So
Thanks, Jerome.
Rooney is known as the Death Wish Diva, and at many points in the game, I guess she's tempted by ocean candy to jump into the ocean. That's all the personality that Rooney currently has outside of this walk that, I hope you enjoy her walk. As well, she is sad and lonely, and that's the entire thing they wrote about her. As well, I'm going to continue showing the Kickstarter backers, and if for some reason you're watching this and Kickstarter backed this game, please let me know. I actually really love this game and would love to talk to someone who Kickstarter backed this. Like, I would have done it if I knew about Nightcry when it came out. I would have paid the $400 to throw in a picture of something. Anyway, the music is gone, and now we're back to our weird soundtrack of like this weird ethereal thing in the background. The game's soundtrack is kind of odd to me because it was done by the same people who did Metal Gear Solid. Weirdly enough, the game had a lot of talent. Like, it was done by the original director of Clock Tower, the person who directed the Japanese Grudge helped direct, it had Castlevania game designers, and this.
I want to know who made the walk cycles.
We can see in the credits. Also, there's another Kickstarter backer. She loves to party.
Obviously.
That's her whole reason for being in this hallway. Next room is going to be meeting up with Jerome, and there's a cutscene here where he just meets up with the Scissor Walker and just chills. If I had more time, I would show it off. My estimate doesn't account for that. But we're going to be seeing something a little bit weird on speedrun tech here. So Rooney's chapter actually features a lot more speedrun tech, and right now, story-wise, Jerome, realizing Rooney loves ocean candy, is going to go get some. Now we have a comfortable-looking sofa. We also have a comfortable-looking sofa. We also have another comfortable-looking sofa. But it's kind of strange. I can hear a shower. So in this room, you have to look around 3 times in order to get the shower trigger to start.
So you can look at anything.
Yep, so you just look at the sofa 3 times,
Okay.
and it's right there. It's a comfortable-looking sofa, and Rooney is very intrigued by it, because she can relate.
Because I honestly thought you probably just had to look at the sofa 3 times.
The Scissor Walker's chasing us right now, and Rooney is the only character who'll do this weird sidestepping to enter doors. I don't know why, but she just does this like weird shimmy half the time. As well, right now we're making our way over to a movie theater because that's going to be the next area of the game I have to be at normally, and it's also going to be an escape from the Scissor Walker who's behind us. There's also a rear view camera, which I can show off right now because it's very weird on how it works. By pushing the right mouse button, you can look behind you, and it does this angle.
Imagine how she's running.
Like this.
Behind her. Oh, okay.
All right, so there's actually a stamina system in this game, as you can see. When the screen's flashing red, she can trip, and her way of recovering stamina is by falling onto the floor and just waiting. I want to prevent that from happening because it's happened a lot of times. I've been on PB pace of this game right in front of these chairs, but we need to hide behind these chairs. Now, there's actually a few reasons why we chose the movie theater. As you notice, everything is blue. Rooney has both the same color scheme. Oh my God,
You got that skip. Yeah. What in the world?
I'll explain that in a moment, but Rooney has the same exact color scheme and personality as these chairs. So why I'm panicking there, the game can randomly decide to give me cutscene skips, which skips the entire animation leading up to that and immediately puts me on the panic event. If you're wondering how I do it, it just happens. At one point, when I was grinding before GDQ and getting things ready, I got a 2-minute time save by literally doing this. Meaning my hands were not touching the keyboard, and it just happened. If that happened with World Record, it would literally be impossible to beat that. Because it happened on an unskippable cutscene. Anyway, now we got Kelly here. She gave us her phone number, and we also have a mission to find everybody. So we're gonna have to look around the boats. Now that we have Kelly's phone number, I can also show you something else. To make Rooney even sadder, her phone address has 3 numbers. Leonard, her uncle, Maria, Leonard's girlfriend, and Kelly, who we just got. So while running back right now, it's time for more Kickstarter people. We also have puzzles here, but here's Bubble Ball. We have Dave Bruno with a sword. We have Leah Pavlovsky with a tiger.
Tiger.
We'll do round 2 in a moment here, just because we're gonna have to go through a few doors. Also, in order to look all the way around the boat, we're gonna walk up these stairs, prep the phone, and Kelly calls us.
Hello?
All right, so we looked around all the entire boat, and we can continue the game. They're expecting you to look like in every room to try to find people, but if you just walk up these stairs, it immediately happens and you can go to the safe room. Meaning Kelly has found everyone who is currently in hiding. And we need to go there to gather a few things. As well, we get to look at the rest of these Kickstarter backers. I've run down this long hallway. If I click far enough, it should be automatic. There we go. So we have, where was I?
Tiger.
Barlanya Legio, chilling in her chair. We have Stephen Wagner. And Tamara Carrion. And that is all the Kickstarter backers. Oh, Rooney, please wait here.
That's all of them?
Well, all the ones who were in the SNS.
Oh, okay.
There's a few more. Speaking of Kickstarter backers, now that we're in here, we're going to have a few things you have to talk to. One, we talked to Kelly because she just beat us here somehow. You have to talk to her twice so you can get Monica's phone number because Monica is still lost. We're going to have to talk to this lady, because this is Angie Brown. This is the lady called Monica in Chapter 1. She has John Thompson's phone number, which Monica currently has. This guy is the Praise the Sun guy. This is a Kickstarter backer. And
Oh, yeah, this guy.
he's really excited to be here. I like that he's actually just really excited because he knew this game would be a GDQ 4 years later.
Right. In the awful block.
Yep.
Finishing it off.
Correct. This is Vigo, the weird guy with the glass eye in the beginning in the suit. We also don't have to talk to Maria. She's not important. Normally, talking to her, she just scolds you about moving out because she wants to move with Leonard and she doesn't like you. But now that we have the key, we can run down this hallway. And while we're doing this, if you'd like to read off a couple of donations, feel free to go for it.
All right, I have $50 from Sir Avium, who says, for Ecdysis, who is a lovely, kind, caring, and amazing human. I'm so proud of you for getting this terrible game into AGDQ. Much love from your community.
Thank you.
We also have $10 from the Darkened Rose, who says, hi, Ek. Glad to see you running Nightcry at GDQ. The people needed to see this one. I wish you luck on the run, and let's get that 800,000. We're about 500 away. So, I mean,
Yo, nice.
we could totally make that happen during this run.
800,000 in Nightcry is a pretty big feat. Also, I don't know what these movie posters are, but they're just like they're all the same 3 movies. So I don't really pay too much attention to them.
2006: A Space Odyssey.
Ah, yes. The prequel. So now we're kind of in the other parts of the sewers. Vigo's the owner of the ship, so he had special keys. And we're gonna find an old friend. Now, I bet you're wondering, what happened to all that ocean candy? Well, here's Rome. He's just chilling in the back here.
Does he have the candy?
No, but
No!
he does have something else for us. His phone number. Rooney now has 4 contacts in her phone.
Riveting.
So remember in like Chapter 1 when I had to kill Jessica and get that weird phone call? Well, the whole reason behind killing Jessica in Chapter 1 is so I can do this. By running up here, I'm gonna get a phone call. I'm gonna prep the phone again. There we go. And she just says, don't trust Eric. That hint that Jessica is dead is that you have a sign to trust Eric. None of these things matter in the speedrun because we're gonna skip all of that. But it just, if you don't do it, you can't get to Chapter 3. Also, time for one of the weirdest hitboxes. If you go too far forward, a giant crate will fall and the scissor walk will respawn. It doesn't matter quite much because we're gonna be doing this.
Going for a ride?
Yeah, we're gonna be just crawling through here, a standard crawl, and Rooney actually needs to work off some of that ocean candy. She's a big fan of it, and we're gonna have an assistant. I also can't skip this. At least she's politely waiting for us to get chopped. Once it turns blue, you're all good, but Rooney crawls away.
Good job, Rooney. Working off all that candy that Jerome didn't get you.
I think my game is not responding. That happens, by the way. I'm keeping count of those. That was 1. So right now the boat just exploded, meaning Leonard just got kidnapped, as we saw earlier. We're back on the original timeline. I want to mention, by the way, that the Scissor Walker is weird that she'll actually just wait for you to do everything you're normally doing before actually attacking. And now we're going to have an RNG section. It's rather minor, but it is there. First things first, you have to notice this necklace on the ground. If you're observant, you'll know this is Monica's necklace from earlier. She left it here for us. I guess it fell off or something. We're going to call John Thompson. This is the phone number Monica has, and that is going to allow me to get sound and look in these crates. It's RNG, it can be any one of the four, not first try. I'll know when I have it when I get a certain camera angle. There's Rooney. We got it. Second try. And now that we have that, we can go to the forklift. And we can open this like a standard human being would open a crate.
Someone tells me she doesn't know how to drive a forklift.
No, she doesn't. But she tries her best.
Oh, poor soul.
I mean,
Bless her heart.
I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing. I mean,
Whoa.
that's open.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's how it
I want to note that it fell over here, by the way.
How did it fall over?
She pushed
what?
it over.
Carefully.
She just pushed it.
She just pushed it.
She's like, I'm done with you.
Also, here's Monica. She's still wearing her necklace. She had
That's a
two.
good trick.
Anyway, we talked to Monica, and now I've actually done one of the major endgame notes that I need. Because, again, the category is called Two Survivors, and we need Monica to make it to the end. As well, I'm going to be grabbing a remote here, and we're going to be getting to where the speed run gets a bit different. So we've been doing a good amount so far, and we haven't seen any major skips, but this game actually has a pretty interesting break on a pretty interesting area. But first things first, we're going to be getting the slowest elevator, I guess is the intent. The remote of the crate is going to allow me to move the crate. We have to push it 4 times and then 2 to the right. It goes this fast. Before the skip was found, you would have to do this 3 times. There we go. Another thing I want to note is that there is the angle I mentioned earlier to where it's pretty hard to click on the 3D point and click game because I'm picking the area I think she'll run, which is very small windows on these stairs. It gets really awkward. If I'm clicking there, it should go up. If I'm clicking like there, it wouldn't work. So you have to kind of hope you're clicking on open ground. Anyway, we're going to meet some old friends. You guys remember Eric and Colby? They're the 2 guys during Leonard's chapter who wrote the boat.
Oh.
Well, Colby's dead, but Eric is going to help us out. He's just kind of chilling here. And normally he would give you some pills, and he always allows us to get into this vent. We need to call Kelly so he's aware people are alive. By doing that, I can now go into the vents. Normally he would give you pills and you have to get back to Monica, but that would take too long, so I'm going to skip that. I'm going to be straight with you, Chad. I don't know why they decided to make the camera like this. But here's Rooney's booty. It is very prominently on her like this while we're crawling through these vents. It's like if they decided to do Die Hard, but instead of focusing on the action shots, they decided to just focus on his butt the entire time. Speaking of which, Rooney actually has some powers. So I'm gonna take the cell phone, and normally you have to look down here to do a panic event where Maria dies, but we're gonna let Maria live. If you go too far forward, you would die by stabbing. However, I'm gonna use the power of technology, a cell phone, this cell phone in fact, because Rooney is too dummy thick, and she can't use that here, so she stands up in the vent. By doing that, I've avoided death, and that is a glitch in this game because if you pick on some, like an activation that is too far away with an item, you normally can't use that here if you get close to it. However, you immediately get the activation if you hit a panic event of some sort, or any kind of trigger. That being said, I did not do a few things I was supposed to do in this game because we can skip them. This is the hardest skip in the game because of the awkward angle. I clicked there, and now she stopped, and I'm now going to click on this door with the smartphone, and you can't use that here. If you did not have that, you would die by purgatory, and no one wants to go to purgatory. And I remember Leonard, guys?
I remember Leonard.
Well, they took his skin, and he's on life support.
Oh, he's not so manly anymore, I guess.
We have to pull the plug. I'm sorry, Leonard.
But he's fine.
He was a DJ.
He'll be remembered for his DJ and baseball hits.
Oh, man.
He had a mean arm.
This is also the only part of the game I can't have backup strats for. So
Remember when he went down that
instead.
rope?
Oh, man.
Man, Leonard.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
So you guys remember Kickstarter?
No.
Wow, I have a couple more Kickstarter backs to show you. And don't worry, we won't remember them soon.
More cats and sushi, please.
So, Rooney is going to look over this rail and, well, here's some Kickstarter backers. Bye, Kickstarter backers. They're no longer in the game.
Can I
They've been
ask
kicked
how
out.
much they paid for that?
I want to see screams are $1,000.
Oh my god.
Oh, so they paid for the scream.
That too.
So they did pay for their likeness too to be put in the game for them falling. Like
Yep.
for you couldn't even see them.
Also,
like,
let's see if I can land the skip. Didn't get it. You just mash everything and sometimes it works. Here's the dead body from earlier. He's now a living body. Also, hardest QTE in the game for some reason. But now he's gone.
what was that dude doing?
Vibing. He's an electrician. He knows elevators. That's his element. Speaking of electricity. Max, you want to finish that for me?
Speaking of electricity,
Wait for it. So Rooney's gonna do the smartest thing. Normally, if you didn't kill Leonard here, you would get a bad cutscene where he turns into a snake, like a literal lizard snake, and swims in these waters. But
He is an
instead, we get the
athlete.
Scissor Walker, who's been waiting for us. And we're gonna deal with the Scissor Walker in the only way Rooney knows how,
running awkwardly.
by becoming an electrician.
Oh.
I like how she waits for it. Now Rooney just runs in it. Now, she has the same personality as a chair, and I'm pretty sure chairs don't get electrified, so that's why she's able to do this.
Electric chair. Those exist.
The Adventures of Rooney 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're back in the main floor. We're off of Monica's floor from earlier, and now we're back on Rooney's floor. And you'll notice there's blood everywhere now in these places. Like you'll see it on the walls. The Scissor Walker has raided some of the areas. I think there's like a blood stain on this one wall. There it is, just chilling. If you can call that blood, it's like having this weird technical glitch. It's just there, by the way. So now the goal is going to be getting into the VIP area because Rooney likes to party.
Everyone likes to party on this boat.
Well, it's a boat. It's a boat. Do you not party on a cruise?
You're right, you're right.
I guess Rooney's parties involve ocean candy, apparently.
That's the party I'm going to.
Speaking of which, so we have to go upstairs to get a VIP card key. But by going up these stairs, I'm going to get a Scissor Walker encounter.
Man, you went full circle.
Yep. You could technically skip this, but I haven't been able to find a way yet. But I'm going to be going over here. There's actually a closer area I can use to get rid of the Scissor Walker. However, I need to use that later, so instead I'll be using this one.
I was really hoping you were going to kill him with the vending machine.
That's also the RNG tripping. That's also the RNG tripping. There you go, Rooney.
Super Smash Brothers Brawl all over again.
Exactly, she's tournament viable. Anyway, I'll let you all guess what's gonna happen to the Scissor Walker here. Now, Rooney is blood related to Leonard. So she does have some of Leonard's power. And she's gonna channel the spirit of Leonard here in a couple of ways. What do you think's gonna happen, Couch?
Some Home Alone stuff. I don't know.
Well, it's a sneak attack.
Oh my.
Let's go,
Yep,
Rooney.
some Home Alone stuff.
Rooney's gonna take out the trash. And that just murdered the Scissor Walkers because she's no longer in the room. But now,
Deleted.
he's baby.
Wait, what?
He's baby.
He's baby.
So this is a backup strat I'm doing because there's some RNG later in the game I don't want to have to just not do. There's like a 1 in 3 chance I can mess it up, and I don't want to have that happen.
There you go.
Anyway, baby's dead. And now with that, we have a billiard ball. The baby was holding on to it. I have a 6. I likely know what RNG I already have, but later in the game, there's going to be a 9-ball puzzle. Now, I don't really play 9-ball all that often. If you play pool, you know what 9-ball is. If you actually, mostly don't play 9-ball with pool. I usually just play stripes and solids.
Same.
Yeah, but
You mean 8-ball?
Is it? Wait, what?
yes. But 9-ball here, there's actually a puzzle with a 9-ball sheet. And it's RNG for whatever reason. I know the RNG right now is likely gonna be 167. I'm gonna get 2 of the billiard balls just to make sure because technically there's a third answer. I've gotten like once and don't remember it and couldn't find it at all during my practices. It's usually 593 or 167. It's likely 167, but I'll get both just in case because it's pretty easy to route them in. Right now, by the way, remember that guy Saul who I talked to in that one billiards room really early?
Sure.
Well, he played a rousing game of darts.
That's not how you do it, man.
This isn't how you play darts?
So I'd just like to cut in real quick. We just passed $800,000.
Bullseye.
Oh God, that's nice. Allow me to congratulate with a bullseye. Anyway, we had darts and also 800,000
Yeah.
during Nightcry.
Yep. During
Nightcry.
Feel free to read the donation that got it.
Let me see if I've got it.
I also want to note that this room can only be used with the lights on, and it really massively drains stamina, so I don't run here. Shoulder trip when I get to this bed. There we go. The Scissor Walker is now gone, and she'll no longer be coming back. She is gone for the rest of the game until the very end. But I do love the dart scene because she politely waited to just throw darts. Like everyone's partying, so the Scissor Walker with the deaths is also just wanting to play a nice game of darts.
I was about to say, he did throw a dart, didn't he?
He also threw darts at Saul, which is why he had several darts in his head. Raelcun, if you can find it at some point, let me know. If not, that's also.
I think we've got it. It's $100 here from J Random Hacker, who says, people keep donating for Runner's Choice, but it never actually wins. Donation to name Pokemon XY main character Runner's Choice.
There you go.
Thank you very much for that.
There you go.
And that's 800,000. We got the VIP key card, and we're gonna be going up an elevator. And this is actually also good timing with donations. So if you want to read a couple more, feel free to go for it.
All right, I've got a bunch here. We've got $10 from Pandemonium, who says, good luck, Ecdycis. We've also got $20 from Cello Vorita, who says, I've been looking forward to this Nightcry run all week. Shout out from the front row.
Hey. Where you at? Hey.
I also have $50 from Zeke, who says, Leonard is so powerful, they had to distract him in order to defeat him, as a direct assault would have ended in misery. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you doing this run on AGDQ, Ecdycis. I'm rooting for you, boss.
Thank you very much, everyone. We have time for one more really quick, but first I just want to mention I did grab the other billiard bar and it was right. It is 167. Now, the VIP key card will be going up, reading a couple of books, but feel free to go for 2 more. Oh, my that's right.
I've got $20 from J. Kyle Pittman, who says, $800,000 hype. And we've got $200 from Evil Bilbo, who says, by God, Rooney's lost her mind to stop the dang match.
All right, so now we're on this laptop monitor and like journal. It's a really weird order. You have to like, oh, hey, there's a dictionary on here. Oh, hey, there's a diary here. Oh, who's on this? Some guy named Vigo. You guys remember Vigo?
Yes.
He was the guy with the glass eyes. And there's also just blood in here that does nothing, but it's just there. And we're gonna have one more skip. So normally you're supposed to have 3 billiard balls, but I can't actually use that here. So I'm gonna skip Vigo entirely. He's just gonna watch me type this in. Normally he would kill you and you'd get a bad ending. However, I can now do this and we passed it. And there's no actual requirement. So Vigo's just gonna chill here until he's needed later, I suppose. Also, looking at the time, I'm really happy. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be underestimated. I should have like one extra thing and I wasn't too sure. There's a few things you have to do in this room. One, we have to look in here to find a special picture of Jerome. Next, also, I think it's APM FTE. I hope I get this first try. If I don't, this is me embarrassing. This is also like the most awkward APM FTE. The most awkward puzzle in the game. APMF, there it is. T. I do it one by one because going in like any order gets really wonky. Anyway, this should open up to a secret bookshelf. If you're wondering how I know the answer, when you added Jerome on Facebook and became bestest friends, he puts it down on there and repeats it to you the entire time. And here's a save with money and an eye, and Rooney is going to grab the eye, because
That's an obvious choice.
The obvious choice. I mean, I would just take both. And, like, open the safe, like, in the boat. I'm about to die. It's good to have.
Think how much candy she could have bought.
Exactly. I guess she wants the eye to see, like, better detect the candy. Anyway, now that I made it down here, we are locked into 2 survivors. I still do need to do a couple actions before the run is over. I want to mention right beforehand, this is about a 2-minute unskippable cutscene. I'm gonna try to go from your skip here. Check it out. I didn't get it.
Oh.
That's the only option.
Our brotherhood has made it this far.
Wait, I know you.
I know him too. That's Barry Burden from RE1.
Igor Baratsov.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
In
that's
the
awesome.
cargo hold, Rooney.
Also,
A
unskippable.
belated greeting. Welcome to the
I'll let it play out right now just because it's pretty funny. Like, if you want to read one donation, go for it.
Eternal paradise.
All right, we've got $20 from DJ Rebirth, who says, donating for a great cause and to wish my wonderful friend Ecdycis good luck on his Nightcry speedrun.
Thank you, DJ Rebirth. So I wonder who this masked figure might be. It's supposed to be a big twist, but I want to just... I wonder who it could be.
Can't tell by the hair at all.
Wonder.
It's hard to say.
Wait.
Now, Rooney can't read, so she doesn't know. Hey, there's Monica.
You okay, Rooney?
Monica, what are you doing here?
I told you I would be right behind you.
When she was like the crate. Also, like,
His
Monica
neck is
broke his
broken.
neck.
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't matter how much of a
Well,
big shot
2
celebrity he is,
survivors.
he's lost
Yeah.
his mind.
The run doesn't end yet because there's one more action I'll have to do. We'll have time when we hit that, and it'll be coming up.
That'll work. Keep doing that.
I'm actually
keep it up.
getting my marathon
go.
estimate, which is really weird. Like, I in the practice room, I got like a 50-50, so this is like odd.
But keep going. You almost got it.
She'll eventually get it. I know there's 2 options here. You can have the Scissor just kill you and then Eric survives, but this is 2 survivors, so... And this is going to be time. And I'm going to play this out because there's one thing I want to show off still, or a few things. But, it's just going to be my reaction to a few things. And we also have to see what happens to Rooney. Because whatever it takes, chat.
You're right. Sorry, Monica.
Keep beating the door. What are you doing?
Survive. No matter what it takes.
Gore warning, by the way.
No matter the cost.
And horror block, but it's noon, so.
Oh.
This is why we had to get the eye of Ecdycis. She just chucks it, by the way, for some reason.
She pulled out her own eye?
Yep. She has a cool brand new eye. It's an upgrade. Also, I want to note, this is quite literally the finale music. Like, the same thing that's been going on in the background is the finale music.
You mean the one song?
Made by the Metal Gear Solid OST people.
Scissor Walker's like, man, why'd you do that?
Revenge is yours. Destroy the man who turned you into a monster.
Well, actually, guys, if you didn't know, they actually got a voice recording of me. This is going to be me if I get rejected for SGDQ.
Wait! This can't be! No! No! This can't be! Hey! No, wait!
Also, you can just, like, run away at any point, by the way.
No, wait! No. No, wait!
Oh my, at least try.
Also, not just that, but the after part as well. We're almost done. The delayed, like... and that. I'll burst into green fire.
Oh my goodness.
The boat burst into green fire. That also, I'm pretty sure there's like a couple of Kickstarters there if you want more. But that was Nightcry, and I hope you all enjoyed it. We'll get the action shot with the 2 survivors just to make sure we got it. But while this is happening right now, I do want to say thank you all for the opportunity to be here. I run a lot of horror games. I got about 62 of them under my belt. A lot of them are terrible. And I just want to say thank you very much. Check me out on Twitch sometime. And
I have a question, Egg.
Of course.
Can I get the soundtrack on Spotify?
No, but you can get the soundtrack on Steam for $20 still.
Oh, cool.
It costs more than the game, by the way.
Oh.
All right.
And here's her beautiful hair and just a couple of gals being pals for the ending.
Some Street Fighter V hair.
Yeah, thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed Nightcry and the Awful Block. We'll be going into the normal horror block now.
Thank you very much, Ecdycis, for that very confusing experience. It was very entertaining. We do have a few quick donations to read here. Got $25 from Konishi, who says, I didn't realize you were doing this run, this AGDQ run, Ecdycis. Came upon your stream a few months ago when your brother rated you. I could not support you during this run for this great cause. We also have $5 from EBD, who said, didn't realize there was another bonus game for the awful block because this run is just awful. Thanks for making me laugh for the past hour, Ecdycis. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and play a few ads. We will be right back. All right, we got a couple quick more donations. We got $10 from Jeremy Coblin, who says, what's Rudy's favorite band? Leonard Skinner. And we also have $100 from Scissor Walker, who says, I found some money in a safe. Thank you for the donations and all of the support through Ecdycis' run. This is AGDQ2020 live from Orlando, Florida. We are going to take another quick break for some more sponsor ads. And after that, I'll be switching hosts with Mr. Crunchy Lex. So thank you, everybody who watched during Awful Block. And stay tuned for the rest of Horror Block.
Hey, OmniGamer here, and my book Speedrun Science is the complete guide to speedrunning's process, history, philosophy, and so much more. Check it out at fangamer.com.
How many years have I waited for the one they called the Warrior of Light? If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. Become what you must. Become the Warrior of Darkness.
Good morning, Speed friends. This is Awesome Games Done Quick 2020. My name is Crunchy Lex, and I'm going to be your pal behind the mic for just the next game this time. But don't worry, it's going to be a real good one. This is going to be Fatal Frame, a game near and dear to my heart because my heart is terrified by this entire series. Now, I was genuinely looking forward to this being during real gamer hours, but instead we're here during real, I guess, responsible hours. So where are my responsible gamers at? All right. Not too early for the energy. I'm loving it. Hope y'all are loving it too. So while we're getting Fatal Frame set up, I'm gonna jump back into some of y'all's donations here. We have $20 from Cotton218. Remember to stay hydrated. Oh, yeah. Definitely been doing that this week. We have $75 from 8-Bit Theologian, sneakily watching Awful Block at work as carefully as I would sneak through a booby-trapped mansion. Dang, that's pretty sneakily. Keep up the good work there, 8-Bit Theologian. Got $25 from Chop Snyder. Thank you to all the staff of GDQ, people watching at home and at the event, the many, many donations, and the runners. This is an amazing example how video games bring people together for a great cause. Keep up the great work in getting rid of cancer. Got $25 from Janu. Thank you, AGDQ, for keeping the week interesting for my friends and I. My brother-in-law's mother just got diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, so hoping this donation can help with the preventative measures needed to defeat cancer. Keep fighting the good fight. We've got $150 from Dr. Doctor. I lost my mother-in-law to breast cancer in October 2019. She won her fight against breast cancer 25 years ago, only to fall when it showed up for a second round in 2017. It was a tough fight, and we are still in the midst of mourning her loss. Even now, we're taking care of my father-in-law as he's battling advanced kidney cancer right now.